All right. We are on. Can everybody hear us? Kind of give it a few minutes for everybody to get online here. Waiting for our guests to pop online as well. They're setting up. We got a lot of information. So if you got a pen and paper, I would suggest before they get online to get a pen and paper.
Yes, Tokie, she is very informative and talks fast, and I have to take notes. So there she is. All right.
Okay.
So
there goes Ty.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey guys. We were just warning our audience to grab a pen and paper to write down information of anything that we go over. So Sid just dipped on me. Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. Hey, I don't recognize you with glasses on.
It's my twin brother.
And it's your birthday.
It is not. April Fool's.
No? It's
April
not?
Fool's. April
No?
Fool's.
That was a lie?
It is my birthday.
So this is where your sense of humor comes from, because you were born.
Exactly.
Is this a joke of your entire life?
The what?
He has a sense of humor because he was born on April Fool's Day. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. These glasses look funny on there, don't they?
No.
Do
I
they
just
glare
didn't
too much?
recognize you with them. I didn't.
Well, because they kind of glare, but.
Oh, okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, we were just right before you came on, we were telling our audience to get a pen and paper, because some of the stuff that gets shared information wise, just want to make sure that they can write stuff down. I know that you guys, we met you at the I always say APAPA because of how Joel said it. That's how Joel says it. I can't hear very well. Is the volume down?
I've been telling you can't hear very well.
I wish.
Oh, that's coming. Oh, man. That's my man. Yeah. Easy. Yeah, we're gonna run up. Okay. Uh-oh, we lost him. Do we need to turn off the TV? Is it too much?
I don't know. Hold on. This will be funny. No,
Okay.
wait.
Ah, there we are.
Welcome to rural America,
Yes.
Country internet.
country internet.
Nobody cares.
Oh, this is something else. Hey, G Mama Groves. Hey, Ordinary Pete. Ricardo J. Welcome, welcome. So, for everybody that's watching on the replay, we normally do this every first Saturday of each month at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We try to have guests on to talk about their experience and learn from them. As we said earlier, make sure you get a pen and paper. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Make sure you get a pen and paper because they are going to give you tons of information, and it's very beneficial for y'all that are interested in marketing gardening or getting out there doing some type of farmers market or whatever it may be. So,
And by the way, Michael Bell, that's on here, and just for a second, this is streaming on both Facebook and YouTube. So as we get questions, if you guys have questions, we will put it on the screen for our guests to be able to answer those questions. Some of you won't see what other people say because this is live streaming on both Facebook and on YouTube. So I just wanted to cover that. But Michael Bell, he's Dallas Half Acre Farms, and he has a successful micro like garden thing in Dallas also that does some similar stuff to our friends here at Southern Sunny Acres.
Very nice.
Cool. Yeah.
so Ty and Tokie, if y'all want to kind of introduce yourselves and how long y'all been doing this and whatnot.
Yeah, no problem. So, hi everyone. I'm Tokie, and this is my husband Ty, and we own and operate Southern Sunny Acres. It's a pastured poultry operation. We are located in Winona, Texas. So that is East Texas. The big city near us is Tyler, Texas. We have been in operation since 2021. We currently have a laying flock of 330 layers. And then last year we did grow out and raise 1,200 broilers. And so this year the goal is to do at least 1,800 broilers. We do. So we both grew up in agriculture. Our parents and our families were involved in agriculture in one way or another. We have not ever done agriculture on the scale that we're doing it. We were blessed to get property where we thought we would homestead. And then we realized very quickly that this community was looking for local produce and things to buy locally. And so we started raising on a much larger scale. I guess our history is we're a retired military family. Ty spent 20 plus years with the Army, and then he retired. He did go to school and got his degree after that in engineering, and he definitely puts that degree to work every day on the farm. So.
Don't hold the Army against me.
Yeah.
We won't this time.
All right. So there's it's only the two of us. We don't have any children, and so I do work a full-time. My background's in project management, and so I do actually have a full-time off-farm job. So we're basically what we like to refer to as a 1.5 person operation. Essentially, is what we are. So Ty's done a lot of things to help streamline the farm and make it easier, make it more efficient. And there's just things that we've learned over the past couple of years that have worked for us. They might not work for everyone, but it works for us. Linda said, "Do you ship your processed broilers?"
Not yet.
We don't currently.
That's coming.
Yes, we are definitely looking into shipping for sure. We do have wholesale accounts. So our broilers, we do not process our own broilers. We take them to a USDA inspected processor and have them process them for us. So that is something that we do not do.
It opens us up to other customers.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how many acres are y'all on?
20. There's some wooded, so basically 15 farmable.
Okay.
For pasture. I mean, we could silvo pasture pigs or goats or something in the back. But right now we're just doing broilers and open pasture, and we have 3 16 by 100 greenhouses in the back we just got. So we're going to start doing vegetables also this year.
Okay. Now, y'all talked about y'all were kind of raised like this, but not on to this scale. Can you kind of tell our audience and people who are watching on the replay how they can get into something like this if they're interested in what enterprises and things to look for?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say one thing that was really really beneficial for us when I say that our parents were involved in agriculture. I would say it was more on a homesteading scale. Ty's family was involved in like agricultural sales. So we're originally from up north, and there's just nothing but a lot of row cropping and like big ag in there. And so that's kind of what we were around. I grew up with grandparents that really did the homesteading thing on vegetable production. And so Ty and I always had in this mindset that we would be more homestead. Like we're very conscious about where our food comes from and how it's raised and how it's taken care of. Besides the food, we want to make sure that we're taking care of the planet, doing our part for making sure that we're leaving it in a better place than maybe how it's been treated. And so we have spent over a decade educating ourselves and just reading books and going to conferences and learning from other like-minded folks. Please don't feel like you have to do this alone. You don't. There are definitely people who have gone before and who have done some things without the advances of technology like we're on right now, right? Like, so if you're thinking like, man, I want to get started, like I guess would encourage you to just start like finding local conferences, or I mean through social media, like start looking for local groups or webinars or like homestead co-ops, different things like that, so that you can join up and hear about their experiences. And then also it will kind of help you, I think, understand and develop like what may work for you. If you had asked us when we started back in 2021 if we were going to be chicken was going to be our thing, we would have laughed at you and told you absolutely not. Like,
Same.
like no, because we had never raised we never raised chicken. I'm going to tell you the reason why we got into chicken is because you can raise out a broiler in 8 weeks and you can start selling a broiler, and that means money back in your pocket. And so when you start out on this adventure, understand that
Are you going to run a business?
Yeah.
Are you going to hobby, or are you just a backyard gardener?
Mm-hmm.
You have to decide. And if you're going to run a business and you want to make some profit, you have to decide what's going to put some money in your pocket. Not, oh, look at me, I have a bunch of cows that I got to feed for 2 years, and I'm going broke doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's our thinking.
Especially during that drought that we just recently had here in Texas.
We were like, man,
Try to buy some hay.
Yeah. And I would say that's why we got into broilers, because it was like, well, growing something out, we could probably keep something alive for 8 weeks, hopefully. And then selling it, like, all right, that sounds like that will work for us. I see Mad Acre Farms did ask, did you start with one working full-time on the farm, or did you decide to change to do this as your business grew? We both work full-time off farm and are trying to build our business on the side. So we're very blessed. Ty is retired. And so when we got started, it was very easy. The farm became Ty's full-time job, and then I hold the off-farm job, which is currently helping supplement the farm. It is. I'm not going to tell you it's cheap to get into farming, or even to get into homesteading and get started. Anyone who's been trying to find some land can see that it's expensive. Like land's very expensive. So I just feel like we were blessed and we were fortunate to be able to have a retirement, and then come on in where we know some other producers. They both work full time off farm, and they're trying to build their business on nights and weekends, and it is tough. What I would tell you is like start growing your network. Like, start finding other people who believe in what you're doing. And they don't even have to be like, they don't have to be other farmers or other producers or other homestead folks. Like, people who are your customers, you would be surprised how they will come and want to help you, right? Like, if you need, let's just say, for example, that you are going to start vegetable production and you're looking at, like, I got 50 tomato plants I've got to get in the ground like on a Saturday, like, reach out and tell people that, because people will come and they'll help you out for an hour or 2 hours, and that goes a long ways. And they'll do it because they want to be a part of you, your story, and your journey. Like, we have, the stuff that has happened for us on our farm is because we have built up that network. We have found like-minded people, and we have just said we need help. Right? There's no shame in saying I need help, and those are great words to know and be comfortable saying.
One of the things that helps, excuse me, is our neighbor is an organic cattle producer. We don't use any chemicals on our land. That's another reason we wanted to do chickens, because they fertilize. Half of your feed bill is fertilizer. So it's not all feed for the chicken. It's promoting health to your soil on your property. So our neighbor, he comes and gets our hay because he knows we don't use chemicals. And then he buys the fertilizer, and he comes and fertilizes our field with organic fertilizers. And he lets me borrow his John Deere 85 horse tractor anytime I need. So he gets the hay for free. Well, he has to cut it and bale it and take it off, but we don't charge him for it. And then I can use his tractor whenever we need, and it works out really good. So
that's community.
Yeah.
That's something we've learned.
Yeah, that's definitely helped out. So I kind of want to piggyback off your network and whatnot. So how did, besides doing that, how did you get out to the community that y'all are selling? Y'all just right now just sell poultry? Do y'all do like produce or anything?
Nope.
Not yet.
Yeah,
that's coming.
It is. Yeah, it's coming. So we just do poultry right now. So we have our broilers. So we have USDA inspected meat, and then we do eggs as well. So we're kind of in a unique situation here. We have a great group of producers here in East Texas, and a couple of them stepped up and said that they were going to start what's called a RECO ring. It's REKO. The easiest way to describe it is to think of it as an online prepaid farmers market. So essentially how it works is it is a private Facebook group. So everybody has to join, meaning like they have to select to join this group. They're not just dumped into the group. And then what happens is the producers will post you'll post, say, like on a Sunday, every Sunday, and you will just post as a producer what you have available for that week. So like for us, for example, we'll post, how many chicken breasts we have, or whole chicken or chicken thighs, and then how many eggs we have,
whatever we produce,
in the cost. And then the other folks that are in the group are basically the customers, and they will just comment under your post, like, I need 3 dozen eggs this week. And then you as the producer are responsible for getting payment from them before. And then 1 day a week is when we have a drop location, and it's a set location that's convenient kind of for everyone, and it's at a set time, and it's only for 1 hour. So what's awesome as a producer for that is that you're not having to kind of try to guess if you're like go to a farmer's market and like be like, maybe I'll sell a lot of this, maybe I won't. Like, you already know everything you're taking is pre-sold and it's been paid for, and then you only have a 1 hour commitment. And so there are the two that we're a part of is the Tyler Farm to Table Reco Ring and the Lindale Farm to Table Reco Ring. But if you just Google Reco Ring, you will hopefully find some. If there's none in your area, then I think you could join any of our groups, even if you're not local, and like start pinging the admins and asking them how to do it, because they've been very successful for us.
And also we ate at a place called a restaurant that's more like farm to table.
Okay.
And the head chef came and asked how our food was, and it was really good.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, we grow pastured chicken from day one to processing. It's on pastures, never in this fancy brooder or anything. And if you need some chicken, he's like, yeah. So he buys about 20 whole birds every month or every month and a half. So it's not huge, but you got to tell people. If you just tell people,
Yeah, so you're basically always just marketing yourself and whatnot.
yeah, and don't be afraid of your product. Be proud of it.
Yeah.
If don't be afraid to talk about it.
Especially when you pasture raise, which is a whole different language for a lot of people.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our feed supplier said we're the only ones in the area, in a big area, that actually raise them from day one on grass till processing day.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's hard work, so a lot of people don't do it.
It is. Yeah.
Now y'all have a nice little brooder system. Well, I wouldn't say brooder system, but that little
Outside,
system and everything. It's all nice. And y'all move that with a tractor or?
We have a Kubota UTV. It's the diesel one. It's a 4-seater, and it can be moved with that. But if they were any bigger, I'd have to use a tractor or the pickup.
So explain to everyone out here, like our system, our coop setup. And
our
like
mobile
that.
coop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have mobile range coops. Their Featherman Equipment has prairie schooners, and the 16 by 24 prairie schooner was the weight limit that the Kubota diesel UTV could handle, and it's way cheaper than buying a big tractor. And I needed it anyway, so that we could, that thing's it's worth its weight in gold. And you can put your chainsaw and your fuel in there. You can put your straw bales, your tools, whatever you're doing. That thing's amazing. So we pull it with that, and we bought the 16 by 24 schooners.
And then, so if somebody wanted to purchase a Featherman prairie schooner, how would it come? What's the requirements if you bought one?
It comes on pallets at a less than load shop, or like a Conway Freight, or whoever freight is in your yellow freight is in your area, and comes in pieces. You have to mill a lot of holes. You have to put it together yourself. It's pretty labor intensive. If you're doing it yourself like me, you got to be a little inventive because some of the stuff is heavy. So but yeah, no, they're really great. They work really good. You got to buy tarp, hardware fabric if that's what you use, or chicken fencing. You have to, like, if you want to put an electric line around it to keep predators out, you have to do that yourself. So there's some things you have to do. I made feeders. They're 4 foot in length, and they're triangle shaped with a half PVC underneath them for the feed trough. So the feed, you just fill it in that hopper, and then it just gravity feeds down in the PVC as they eat it. It just keeps coming down. So.
And then if somebody wanted to do, speaking of that, like if you got one of those, it would be a great community day project, right? Like getting a lot of hands to help lift things, like help assemble it. That'd be a great experience, and like people would come out and help you with that. I mean, we had a group of friends that came out and helped us on the second ones that we put together, and so they were more than happy to come out and just have that experience. If somebody was to get a 16 by 24, like our size, how many egg layers could they house in one of those?
Egg layers?
Yep.
Oh, I have to do some quick math here. Well, nothing quick about my math. Okay.
Sounds like my math.
Equals divided by, like, let's say if you gave them 3 square feet. Now, if you can leave the doors open, if you got to leave them inside, I would say 128, somewhere in there, 120 to 130, maybe 140 if you have to leave them in the coop. But you got to make roosting bars. Now, we leave ours inside the coop, but the doors are open, and there's a 1/4 acre of electric fence that coop sits inside. We move it inside that 1/4 acre. And that electric fence, of course, it like coyotes like to lick it and they find out it's a bad decision, so they quit licking it.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So yeah, if you got to leave it inside the coop, I would say 120 to 140 at best.
Yeah. And then if they want to use it for broilers,
Give them 3 square. Oh, broilers, you could do. Well, we do 320.
Oh wow.
time.
Yeah, at a time, I could probably do 350 in there.
Wow.
But we have a lot of pasture. We
Yeah.
move them to fresh pasture often.
Yeah.
When it's bigger, it's every day.
Yeah, I could only imagine with 300, because just even with the 45 we have in the small one, I mean, it feels like we almost have to move them 3 times a day.
Yeah. The more you have, I mean, 1.5 to 2 square feet per bird is optimal. So.
And okay, so just to reiterate, so 1.5 to 2 square feet for a broiler is optimal.
Yeah.
And then 3 square feet.
3 to 4 for layers
would be optimal.
If you have to leave them in the coop, I would give them at least 4 square feet.
Yeah.
Because layers are bigger, they need more room. They're a little harder on each other.
Yeah.
They're not happy.
Yeah.
So
I will say, Mad Acre Farms, you did ask a question if we process our own birds, and the answer is no. We do not. We in the state of Texas, in order to sell wholesale, so like we've got a restaurant we're selling to, we have to be USDA inspected. So we do take all of our birds into a USDA inspected poultry processor in Texas.
Yeah, and we've noticed that those are coming hard. Slim pickings of picking a butcher for poultry. I mean, we do butcher some of our own, but we sell mostly to retail. We don't do wholesale yet. Knock on wood. But it's coming. So, can you tell us a little? You talked earlier about the education of getting to with different education programs and things of that nature. Y'all been with APA for how long now?
We've been with APA for 3 years. In APA is a really long acronym, and it stands for pen and paper ready because it's a long one. It stands for the American Pastured Poultry Producers Association. I would tell you that group was vital for us when we got started, especially when we realized that we were going to do chickens. The knowledge that is in that group is worth every penny you are going to pay in that membership. It's
Sydney and Tori
great.
know also about it.
Yeah. I mean,
that was a life changer for us. That was our first conference we went to, and we walked away like, seriously, we're gonna be poultry farmers.
Yeah, we like after that conference, we were like, all right, we're already ready for next year's conference. I mean, I was just like,
if I can only go to one thing every year, it would definitely be that.
Yeah.
I do have a question before we move forward because I keep hearing feedback on something. Do you have a TV going?
A TV?
No.
No.
Because I'm
no.
I'm hearing feedback on something.
We don't have anything.
Yeah, I hear a little bit feedback.
We don't have. Is that better?
Can you hear us?
Volume was too high.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
Okay, that's better.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
What are some? We talked earlier offline a while back about some other education programs. What other education programs and conferences can people get involved with?
Especially when it comes to networking, because we like one of the best things that came out of the APAPA conference was meeting you guys and like other people, because it's like one of the most supportive environments of finding like-minded people that are trying to do the same things. So, and you guys are at least 3 to 4 years ahead of us. We're just sticking our toe into the water. So where you're at, what would you say to your former selves on that beginning stage on
Yeah.
on what programs? If you're going to invest your time and money into different conferences, where would that be?
Yeah. So okay. So I guess for us, like the first thing is right. Like you kind of have to make the decision um on what you're after, right? Like, do you want to go down like a homesteading track where like you want to take care of your family and you want to provide great food and products for your family, or do you want to think more like a business? Like I'm going to do this as a business, support my community, and like replace maybe an off-farm job. So we would say like kind of take your time and figure that out. Obviously, don't just figure it out for yourself. Like if you're married or you have other people involved, get everybody involved to make sure everybody's kind of on the same page. And then if you do decide to go down the homestead track, honestly, every year here in Texas, it's called the Mother Earth News Fair, and that happens pretty much every February in Texas. That is a great 2-day conference to go to. It's pretty reasonable. It is, in our opinion, very homestead minded. So if you're looking just to be like more sustainable, kind of off-grid living, taking care of yourself, like that would be a good conference to go to. We obviously mentioned APA is a really, especially if you want to get involved in poultry, doesn't just have to be chickens. It can be ducks or guinea fowl or whatever fowl you want. That's an amazing group to be a part of. And then another one that we found, or I guess two more, there's it's not the Farfel one. It's the southwest.
Oh, the southern family
Another all one.
growers. Yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
Southern Family Farms and Small Growers Conference or something. I mean, it's huge, right?
Give us a minute. We're going to Google this one because it's a mouthful too. And we'll say it real slow when we figure it out so y'all can write it down.
Got it
Because
right here.
boy.
Got it. Oh, no.
Hold on, I can find it.
General events. Here it is. Okay. Oh, I thought I had it.
At the top. I got
The
it.
Southern Family Farmers and Food System Conference.
Yes.
Boom. Type that one in the chat. There it is.
Say that 3 times.
Boom. There you are.
You knocked that out of the park.
Yeah. That one is obviously a big mouthful.
Yeah.
But that's a really good conference. And I would say to us, that's a very well balanced conference between like livestock producers and vegetable producers.
And dealing with legal
Yes.
part of it, because the Farm and Ranch Freedom Alliance is also there. It's kind of a SPI, Small Producers Initiative, and FARFA kind of got together to make this conference.
Yep.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Because we're going to be middle of the road also.
Yeah, it's a great one to go to. A lot of good networking. There's a whole lot of vegetable producers that are urban and rural.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's August 7th and 8th, located where?
San Marcos, Texas.
Yeah.
So we need to get an Airbnb together.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're down with that.
Yeah. So if you guys, so CC's Texas Garden, if you're interested in that one, it will be happening August 7th and 8th of 2023 in San Marcos, Texas.
That's a cool place to go floating down the San Marcos River.
It's a cool
I
place
gotta
to
go
go
for
floating.
float.
Yep. That one, that one's good. When you go to it, they've got like multiple tracks. I would say like conference tracks where like they'll have like the livestock track, and then they'll have like the livestock track, the legal track, the gardening track or the vegetable track, marketing, and they rotate like every hour on the hour, and they bring in different speakers and stuff. So what we would probably tell you is if you go to that one and you have somebody you can bring with you, it would probably be beneficial because most of the topics or the presentations only happen once over the 2-day conference. And so like what we have found that's beneficial in attending conferences like that is that we just divide and conquer, right? Like, so say at the same time,
which I'm sure a lot of you would do. I mean,
so
we divide and conquer.
Yep. And then we can basically cover as much area as possible. Another let's see. So there's that one, which is really great, and that one's in Texas.
Oh.
We did mention, Ty mentioned that conference is put on in conjunction with the
Farm and Ranch Freedom Alliance.
Yeah, Farm and Ranch Freedom Alliance.
FARFA.
And guys, I'm telling you, if you've not looked them up yet and you reside in Texas, you need to look them up. You need to get signed up for their newsletter. You need to get involved with them. The woman who runs that organization,
Judith McGeary.
Yep, Judith McGeary. Just so you know, FARFA, it's known as FARFA. So it's Farm and Ranch Freedom Alliance. They're not a nonprofit, but what they are is they will lobby for the rights of Texas small producers. So, like, here's where that's important, because all your big players out there have plenty of money and plenty of lobbyists talking to your state senators and Congress folks about what needs to happen as far as benefiting the big guys. And so FARFA fights very, very hard for the little guys. So for example,
she actually writes bills and things, and there's lobby days that you can go to. They invite you to, and you go talk to the legislative aides and the senators, the Congress people, and bring your issues up to them. Yep. A lot of them don't even know there's an issue. Yeah. They were surprised about egg grading. Yep. They're like, oh, that doesn't make sense. I ate eggs out of my grandparents' backyard all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway,
people don't understand, and I'm one of them. At least like a year and a half ago, I didn't know about the value of having a bloom on an egg, and then I learned that I can't go to the farmer's market to sell my eggs unless I clean that off, and I think
inviting germs and bacteria,
and it's not good. Like there's a lot of stuff that people don't understand, like just basic stuff when it comes to eggs. And I really appreciate FARFA for fighting for the rights for us to have healthier things from small producers, and how much commercialized industries are shutting little people out like us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big agribusiness is lobbying just people who want to take care of the communities and each other, trying to get you out of the picture so they can make money.
Yeah.
It's all it boils down to.
Yep. I would say to kind of like just talk about the significance of FARFA. If you are a Texas resident and you purchase raw milk, or you happen to be a raw milk producer, you are able to do that within the bounds of the law because of lobbying work that FARFA did to get those laws passed in Texas. Like, that wasn't easy to do. That was really tough to do, but they did it. And it is highly beneficial for so many people. Same with if you're a cottage food producer. So meaning that you maybe in your own home kitchen produce pickles, or maybe it's salsas or jams or jellies, like even baked goods. There's certain rules as a cottage food producer that you have to follow. And those are always under attack. And so FARFA fights very, very hard to make sure that those laws are expanded so that you can do more instead of less. And so we've just found great benefit in being a member, in being a part of that organization. The good news is I think Judith would say that everybody who starts a business, especially in agriculture, you want to be within the law, right? Like you want to run your business within the law, but it's extremely difficult to understand the rules or the regulations that are out there.
Yeah. Because what you interpret it in some way, I can interpret it some way, would it be like totally opposite with the law, what they say. I'm like,
but I called the extension office and talked to two different people that interpreted stuff completely differently.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
It is so difficult. And so FARFA will fight very hard for you. And if you join that group and you're a member and you just like, you have a question, like I'm thinking I'm I don't know, like, I want to try something, or is this within the rules? Like, you could reach out to them and they will very black and white say yes or no, or like, yes, and here's what this means for you. I mean, down to like the insurances you have to hold, the licenses that you need. Like, they
Plus,
know
all
it
of
all
them I
and they'll tell you.
understand.
And
I
she's
understand
very
this.
black and white. So if you're like, well, but what if? And she's like, come on.
Yep.
This is what it is.
Yep.
So you have to just accept it, and then we can maybe use lobby days to change it.
Yeah, and I think this stuff is important to talk about because right now, especially in a time when homesteading, before even getting to this thought process of the business side of it, but homesteading is being so romanticized, you know? And so people are like, oh, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to make stuff and I'm going to sell it. There's a bunch of like lines that you have to follow to do that stuff legally. Yeah.
You can't just do it in your kitchen.
Mm-mm.
You have to have a commercial kitchen in Texas.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And that could mean different things. I mean, you don't have to have a stove in there and a vent hood and all that stuff unless you need it. So a commercial kitchen can mean it's pretty broad.
Be outside.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean.
Yep. I would say the other thing about FARFA, because this is important, especially in 2023, is because right now the Texas legislation is meeting, and so they only meet every 2 years. So we essentially have every 2 years to get in front of our Texas legislation and let them know things that need to be changed or things that we need improved upon to help us be more successful, right? And so, for example, there are lobby days, is what they call them, where you actually can go down and you can lobby on behalf of yourself and the small producer, and FARPA will give you everything you need to talk about that.
I went to lobby days last month, and they give you an orientation of what's going on. They get you in like regions, or like if you're a producer of a certain thing, they like certain producers to get together. Like HB 2945 was egg grading. I was very interested in that.
Yeah.
So then they give you a list. They got a map of the whole place. They tell you what to expect, kind of what to say, not what to say, but things not to do. Like, don't bring up European laws and all this other. They don't care. They don't care. They don't have time. So they give you an orientation of what to avoid and what not to avoid. But they also want you to tell your story. So then they give you, look, if you go to this congressperson, this senator, and then this congressperson, go visit with their legislative aides about this, share your concerns. Then you go back to the ballroom and they'll give you 3 more if you want, or if you have to leave, you got to leave. There's no, so I visited, I think it's 7 of them in a day. And there were 3 of them that had no idea that egg grading was that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't as necessary as it needed, as they made it out to be. So
it seems like some things that have been put in place to make it very difficult to do.
Yes, for small producers,
Yeah.
To keep them out, to keep you out of the producer.
The before we go on to the next one, we have 12 ducks, about 120 something chickens, no turkeys yet, and 6 geese.
I mean,
about to be 9 geese. We got 3 about to be hatched out here soon.
There's one that hatched out of an egg.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So okay, so we'll share this, Sydney and Tori. This one's for you. So if you're going to get into turkeys, we've not done turkeys.
We have.
You need to look her up. She is a member of APA. Her name is Kaisa Keen. Sorry, Kaisa Keen.
It's okay.
She is.
I didn't know that.
Is she on the conference?
She was at the APA conference.
Oh, so we could look her up on her app, on the app.
On APA. Here's the thing.
There it is.
She 100% is a turkey person, and not just
show turkeys, meat turkeys.
And heritage breed turkeys are her thing. So if you are looking to get into turkeys, Kaisa Keen, find her through APA. She
very kind person.
Yeah.
And she knows
very
a lot.
Cool. I'm glad to hear that because we have done turkeys. Just one time, it was kind of like our learning curve with some meat turkeys, broad-breasted, but we want to go there. I'll never do them again. I want to go the heritage route. He's interested in some blue slate turkeys. So that's going to be, I'll be interested in, thank you.
Yeah.
For that information. Because he's a turkey whisperer.
Nice.
I love difficult animals.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, she's so high maintenance.
There was some innuendos, not high maintenance.
Not at all. I'm just kidding.
I was just...
Yeah, you can get me later. So Kaisa also lives up north of Campbell, Texas.
Oh,
okay.
She's not far from
a local person.
For us, that would be local.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we get this a lot, and I'm pretty sure y'all get this a lot as well, where we'd like to go to these conferences, but they cost too much. Now you told us about some good ways to get to these conferences. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Right? Knowledge is power, and sharing is caring, and so that's what we're here for. So
right, Mama taught me how to share.
Yeah. Okay, so we last year, I'm gonna say a word, and I don't want anyone to freak out, but the word is grants, which essentially equates to free money. Okay, and I'm pretty positive if I could see everyone, they'd be like, yeah, I'll take some free money, right? Like, especially if you're getting into this business because it's expensive and it adds up really fast. But we wrote 9 grants last year, and we scored 8 out of 9 grants that actually added up to a lot of money for us, like a lot of money for our farm.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah. And so if you're looking to get into some conferences and you're going to go down this business track and take it really serious, I would encourage you guys to Google and start looking up at different grants. One that comes to mind really quick for us, especially if you're looking to attend the APA conference, is FACT, FACT. It's called the
Food Animal Concerns Trust.
Yep. And so look them up. They have a grant available that I believe you can get it once a year to attend a conference that is on. It has to be animal related, and so particularly they're very fond of animal, like APA's one that qualifies. They typically, under their website, will have different conferences that are going on that would qualify for the grant or the scholarship, and you just apply for it. And then they'll let you know typically within a week if you've gotten it or not. And so that's a way that we've been able to attend the conferences. We would also encourage you to join their newsletter, because they also do have other grant opportunities out there to help you get started in farming, or might help you grow and expand your business. The sign up for the FARF, at a minimum, please everybody sign up for the FARFA newsletter. Even if you are like, oh man, I just can't become a member right now, sign up for their newsletter, because they post information out there for different items, different grant opportunities and things like that. So look at those as well. If you happen to have a military background, one thing that we did that helped us kind of really understand if we were going to go from a homesteader mindset into a business mindset. In Texas, it's called the Battleground to Breaking Ground program. You do have to apply for it. It's through Texas A&M. So you have to apply for it. You do have to be connected into the military. So currently leaving the military or something like that. But what was good about that one is we were able to find people who were like just coming out of their military service, kind of like we were, that had an interest in getting into agriculture. And then they kind of just opened us up to a whole lot of different areas, helped us build our network. And then they helped us get a business plan together so that we could really kind of get focused in on what avenue or what path we wanted to do. The other good thing about going through that program is that we were able to realize that we needed to get hooked up with the USDA and have a farm number once we got our property. And then through the USDA, they have their NRCS, which stands for the National Resource Conservation Services. It's natural, not national. Sorry, I always say national. It's Natural Resource Conservation Services. It's a branch of the USDA, but they have a lot of cost share programs within that group that will help you with conservation practices, like land management, or if you're looking to get into vegetable production, how to extend your growing season, and things like that. So that money's out there for you as well. If you reside in Texas and you happen to be 46 or younger, you can apply.
Last year.
No, you can apply for the Texas Department of Agriculture, excuse me, Young Farmers Grant. That is a cost share grant. What that means is it's a dollar match. So what that means is that you have to, for every dollar you spend, they'll match you. But there's definitely ways to fund things that you need to do to get your operation up and running.
What was that one called again?
TDA, Texas Department of Agriculture Young Farmers Grant.
Something I want to add, because we are talking about a topic that a lot of people are very uncomfortable. That's one thing that we have discovered in getting into this, realizing, it is very expensive. There are grant programs. Before we even bought our property, because we come from a content creator space, we had our business account. For people that are afraid to do all of these grant things, at least if you're getting into the business-minded side of things and, having like a business account, at least thinking that way, it is a tax write-off to go to these events for your education, even if it's not, utilizing a grant to pay for it. These are tax write-offs. And that's something that we try to tell people when they kind of are like, oh my gosh, like that's so expensive and I can't do this. I need to put that money into my property. And we're like, this is literally like free money to write off, to further your education, to obtain information that's going to help you make more money and make your what you're doing, all this work, more profitable, So I just wanted to put that out there for the people that don't want to take advantage of grants, to at least, if you have a business, these write-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's a great point, Tori. If you are a business, there are lots of good things out there at tax time.
Now, I want all of our money to work the best that it can. So I want a grant. I want a write-off. I want all the things.
I want Ty and Tokie to come and raise our animals for us.
Yeah. No, I mean, that is a good point. And right. And it kind of goes back to we met y'all at the APA conference in January of this year, right? And we've had a lot of fun getting to know you.
Yeah.
like we've definitely learned stuff from
That's
y'all
great.
because we are not content creators at all. And so like we've been Facebook stalking and Instagram stalking you all, like, oh, we should try to do that, you know.
And then they are it up, and we're like, hey, they're here.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, and like hopefully we've been able to share some beneficial information. You know, I mean, like you guys want to get into turkeys, and it's just like, hey, like you totally need to talk to Tyson, right? Like,
I love about this community that we, you know, like meeting you guys. I think when we went to that conference, we met like 2 to 3 people that we have continued this
contact with.
Yeah.
And then running into y'all with Mother Earth, and that was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was, then you were spitting knowledge. We were like, wait a minute, I got a pen and paper. I'm like, let me get my camera outside where I could just record everything.
Yeah, no, so for sure. So hey, we'll tell you this, right? Speaking of FARFA and things like that, they are actually coming to our farm in May.
I remember you telling
May 20th and 21st. That's a weekend of Saturday, Sunday. They're going to come to our farm, put on a 2-day conference.
I think it's $20 or $20.
Yeah, at least last year, I think it was $20 or $25, so it was very reasonable. And so what they're going to specifically talk about is profiting from pastured animals.
From small farms.
Yeah, so essentially they're talking about us, the small guys, and they're going to visit and just like, hey, here's what you need to know, right? Like they'll kind of give you a quick quick isn't the right word. They'll give you an overview of like the laws as they currently stand and what you need to be aware of, and then talk about marketing, and they'll talk about like how to find outlets to sell whatever it is that you're raising. And so if you guys are local or you're around, be looking for that. They'll be sending it out in their newsletter, but that'd be just a great opportunity, and they'll be here in person. And so we're firm believers, if you can always talk directly to the person, like you'll get your questions answered so much quicker.
I like how y'all say small. Y'all are small when y'all raising like 1,200 chickens.
That's annually though. Yeah. That's not at a time yet. That's coming.
I ate that many chickens in 3 years.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, but I mean that's to put like a kind of a picture on it, especially like for people like us that were not like raised this way and are kind of like finding ourselves in this situation. We're just wrapping our minds around not being able to keep 114 broilers alive. We just struggled with like the worst batch that we've ever had. So, yeah.
Ooh.
We went from 114 to like 45.
Shoot.
Is that all the rain and the weather?
No, it's just I don't know. It's,
we know how to keep chickens alive.
Oh.
We do.
Yeah. It's for some reason they were just we had the brooder at like 98 degrees and they were still cold for some reason. They were just piling up and they just wanted to die, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked to like recently. I talked to somebody else that got out of the bulk buy that had a similar experience. So, and I just in observation, this group was not normal compared to any of my other experiences. So I'm going to try not to hold it against anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
But I just don't feel like it's a good batch.
Yeah. Well,
it could be.
Yeah.
I mean,
what was that?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a bad batch. I mean, like sometimes we get on these and like we talk to people and people are like, oh, you guys seem to be like really big and like doing all these big things. And I'll be honest with you, we'll share. We've lived and we've learned. Last year in one night we lost 70 broilers. Not because
60.
Sorry, 60. Okay. So this last Christmas
matter.
Yeah, like twice.
So the first time, we lost 70 overnight because I didn't build the coop right. There was about 12 inches of space between the top of where the hardware fabric was and where this metal beam was. And I didn't think anything could crawl in there because the tarp was close against the wall. Man, some fox or something got up in there.
It was a raccoon.
A raccoon.
We figured out it was a raccoon.
And it tore up 70 chickens before that night we got home, and I saw a bunch of blood on the tarp and had to rinse it all off. And I was like, what the heck? So right away, I got the cordless grinder out, and I was cutting up hardware fabric, and I put it up in there, and it never happened again. So, I mean, some things you can learn the hard way, and that's okay because you won't forget them.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, we're not going to forget this one.
Yeah.
Nope.
So for now on, no more chicks till April.
Yeah.
That's something else we learned.
Yeah, I would say like we've kind of learned that too. I mean, last fall we had 320 chicks sitting in the brooder, and it was that warm spell that happened in December. If you guys are all from Texas, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like it's way too hot. And so I was like, we're pulling a light out of the brooders and letting it be. And we pulled them out, and the next morning it had gotten cold enough that they dogpiled and smothered 60 of them. Like, you know?
And they'll literally lay there and be like, suffocate me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. If the water is 3 inches from them and they're just too tired to get to it, they'll sit there and die.
Yep.
Yeah. So Terry said that I helped her grow some worms and everything. I appreciate that, Terry.
That's awesome.
So how y'all have a website where people can search for y'all, Instagram, social media accounts, or anything of that nature?
Yeah. Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. So we're super easy to find. Our website is southernsunnyacres.com. You can find us on Facebook. You'll see our this is our logo right here.
Logo.
You can also find us. We're just at Southern Sunny Acres on Instagram and on Facebook. And so we'd love it if you guys followed us. And we're not nearly as good at content creation and those things as Sydney and Tori, but you know what?
That one video that Ty did was pretty good when y'all was introducing y'all brooders, your little area.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, Farmer Ty, what you doing there?
We won't tell you how many retakes that one was. No joke.
Oh, don't talk about retakes. I'm the king of retakes.
Yeah, there's nothing like doing this kind of stuff with your partner that knows you. That's also poking at you, you know, that knows all your weaknesses. Yeah, we are each other's worst critics. We do stuff. But it's important to, you know, just kind of like try to highlight what you're doing and share, because people do want to know like where their food is coming from, and they do want to know your journey. And we didn't realize the value of what we were doing until we were in this journey. And people were like, well, are you like, we started processing chickens in our journey, and people were already asking us if they could buy from us. You know? And we weren't selling, you know. So we're kind of like on an opposite. That's what I really appreciate about the relationship and friendship we're building with you guys, because we're kind of like on an opposite spectrum, and like, I'm here for you. Any kind of help that you want on the marketing side, feel free to ask, because I feel like I'm in my journey learning how to market, but I don't have what you guys have, you know. So it's really cool to learn from each other.
Absolutely,
it is. We really appreciate all you've done for us, you guys. Just being who you are, you know. It's really nice. Yep. Yes, man.
So corny.
I am.
So, do y'all have anything else y'all want to cover, talk about, things that's going on with the Southern Sunny Acres?
Well,
besides out in May.
Yeah.
So we've got that conference in May. I mean, if y'all are,
it's a class. It's just a class here at the farm.
Yep.
So you can see the layers. You know, we'll have broilers. I think, we'll have another round of broilers go on.
Are you going to be marketing that on your social media? Like, are you already marketing for that event through your social media?
The answer will be yes.
I'm getting on to you right now.
We will be.
Yes, actually, this will tell you how horrible we were. We got the FARFA newsletter, and I was reading through the newsletter, and I was like, "Oh, check it out! Here are their upcoming conferences." And I was like, "Oh, snap! That one's us.
That's
We might want
awesome.
to look at that one."
That's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
You gotta stack those decks,
Yep. Yeah. So no, I mean, we'd love anyone. We'd love to have you all come out and join that one and come check it out, because I think you'll get a lot of good knowledge from it. And then
You will.
obviously you can see what we're doing. And I mean, we just love to talk to you and visit with you kind of more about our journey and what we found has worked for us. I would definitely say check out that the one in August if you need to really plan in the future. That's a great one in San Marcos. So plan for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So let us know where you guys are staying or the Airbnb, because I would be interested in that.
Sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, once again, I appreciate y'all time, sharing y'all time with us and our viewers. And definitely go check out Southern Sunny Acres on their Instagram. Hopefully later on get some YouTube going on or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And we welcome anybody that does have additional questions about the stuff that you talked about to hit you guys up. Ask those questions.
Yeah. If you guys want to send us any questions or you want any follow-up or anything like that, our email is info at southernsunnyacres.com. You can just send us an email and just say, "Hey, saw you guys with Sid and Tori. Just wanted to follow up or kind of have these questions." We're more than happy to visit with y'all for sure.
And he's just putting it in there. So it's info at southernsunnyacres.com. Acres.com. Okay, perfect. All right. He's just putting that on there for anybody that
awesome.
Yeah, on the later. And that shows up on both of our
Facebook and YouTube.
And we want you guys to know that if on the replay, if there's any questions underneath the video, we encourage you guys to engage anybody in our audience that has questions underneath the video. So feel free to answer any questions that people have.
Awesome.
Okay.
We will definitely do that, y'all.
Thank you.
All right.
You have a great weekend.
You too, guys.
Too. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, everyone.
All right. You bless, guys.